purpose of this training module is to inform, educate, and support all child nutrition program staff regarding general USDA civil rights requirements and to increase awareness of resources and information available to assist in carrying out civil rights responsibilities. Sponsors receiving USDA funds must follow civil rights regulations and policy. Food and Nutrition Service Instruction 113-1 is the USDA policy and guidance for all child nutrition programs, including the National School Lunch Program, the School Breakfast Program, the Special Milk Program, the Summer Food Service Program, and the Child and Adult Care Food Program, to ensure compliance with the enforcement of the prohibition against discrimination in all nutrition programs and activities.
Civil rights are the non-political rights of citizens.
The rights of personal liberty are guaranteed to United States citizens by the 13th and 14th Amendments to the United States Constitution and the Acts of Congress. Child nutrition programs have always been available to participants on an equal opportunity basis.
In 1983, the U.S. Department of Justice issued civil rights compliance requirements for all federal agencies.
Federal law prohibits discrimination based on race, color, national origin, sex, disability, and age. Discrimination is defined as the act of distinguishing one person or group of persons from others, either intentionally, by neglect, or by the effect of actions or lack of actions based on their protected classes. All sites must display the "And Justice for All" non-discrimination poster in a public area where participants and potential participants have ready access, such as in cafeterias, entrance to facilities, or main offices. The poster contains civil rights complaint procedures. The poster was recently revised and is green in color. Make sure you have the most recent copy posted.
If additional or replacement copies are needed, please call Child Nutrition and Wellness at 785-296-2276. Sponsors of the Child and Adult Care Food Program must also post the flyer "Building for the Future" in a prominent location to notify parents and the public that the facility is participating in the program.
Sponsors must provide informational materials in the appropriate translations as needed, review the racial and ethnic data, and make sure the needs of low English proficiency are addressed, and bilingual materials and staff are available as needed. The program sponsor must inform parents or guardians, as well as local minority and grassroots organizations, about the availability of benefits and services and the requirements for eligibility and benefits. Examples of ways to inform include sending the free and reduced price meal application to all households in a school district newsletter, or posting the "Building for the Future" poster in a child care facility.
The Kansas State Department of Education submits the announcement of child nutrition programs to newspapers and job service offices annually. Each sponsor is responsible for distributing it to any major employers contemplating layoffs.
Racial and ethnic data is used to determine how effectively the child nutrition program is reaching potentially eligible children and where outreach may be needed. Sponsors collect racial and ethnic data for all participants at all sites annually and maintain the data on file for 3 years plus the current year. It is optional for households to provide their racial and ethnic information. However, it is a requirement for sponsors to collect and maintain racial and ethnic data on an annual basis. Racial and ethnic data can be collected from enrollment records, actual attendance, free and reduced price meal applications, or the student data system. Visual identification can be used to determine a participant's racial ethnic category if necessary.
The Kansas State Department of Education will review the racial and ethnic data during administrative reviews.
The non-discrimination statement must be on all printed communication when referring to the provision of child nutrition programs, including reduced price or free meal benefits. For example, letters to households notifying eligibility or denial of reduced price or free benefits, enrollment forms, employee handbooks, newsletters, brochures, parent handbooks, print or broadcast ads, flyers, websites, and on social media pages. A link to the USDA non-discrimination statement in both English and Spanish translations can be found on the Child Nutrition and Wellness website at www.kn-eat.org on the right-hand side of the screen. When using the full non-discrimination statement, the font may not be smaller than 9 points.
It is not required to be imprinted on items such as cups, buttons, magnets, and pens that identify the program when the size or configuration makes it impractical to do so.
Please check to make sure that any locally developed materials have this exact version of the non-discrimination statement and also when using graphics reflect diversity and inclusion. A short version of the non-discrimination statement can be used only if the printed material is 1 page or less and there is not adequate space to print the full statement. The short version must be the same size as the rest of the font used in the material in order to maintain equal importance. Federal regulations that govern diet modifications in child nutrition programs require sponsors to provide modifications to the standard meal requirements for participants who are considered disabled and whose disability restricts their diets. A student with disabilities shall have his or her school meals modified only when supported by a statement signed by a licensed physician. The supporting statement shall identify the individual's disabling condition and an indication of how the disability restricts the student's diet, the major life activity affected by the condition, the food or foods to be omitted from the child's diet, and the food or choice of foods that must be substituted. Federal regulations permit modifications for other participants who are not disabled but who are unable to consume regular program meals because of medical or other special dietary needs. Sponsors also are required to make reasonable accommodations for limited English proficiency. They must have a method for assisting families who need help when inquiring about available services and who need assistance to fill out meal applications to apply for program benefits. Examples of providing assistance include the availability of a staff member at your site who can interpret information for non-English speaking household members. Another example is to have a foreign language meal application available as needed. USDA has multiple translations available, and Child Nutrition and Wellness has a Spanish translation for you to use. Providing assistance to complete the application is also required. The interpreter does not need to be a food service staff employee, but does need to keep the information that they become aware of confidential. All participants who attend an adult or child care facility and/or school must be provided equal access to the benefits of child nutrition programs. Therefore, infants must be offered infant formula and food at the child or adult care facility or school, and parents cannot be asked or required to supply these items. To withhold the program from any eligible age group is age discrimination.
Civil rights are recognized in 6 protected classes in child nutrition programs: race, color, national origin, sex, age, and disability. A person can allege that discrimination has occurred and file a discrimination complaint because they feel they were denied benefits, or they received delayed benefits, or they received benefits in a disparate manner due to being a member of one or more of the protected classes. The complaint must be filed within 180 days of the alleged discriminatory action.
When the complaint of discrimination is received, immediately contact USDA at the address on the Civil Rights poster. Any complaint received by KSDE will be forwarded to the USDA Mountain Plains Regional Office in Denver, Colorado. Provide the Civil Rights Complaint Form to any individual wishing to make a complaint of discrimination. Use of the Civil Rights Complaint Form cannot be required for acceptance of a complaint. However, it will assist the local agency, KSDE, and USDA in determining the course of action to take. This form can be obtained by contacting the Kansas State Department of Education at 785-296-2276, and it is available online in Food Service Facts and the Child and Adult Care Food Program Administrative Handbook. If the complaint is made verbally or through a phone conversation, the person accepting the complaint may complete the form. The completed form and any corresponding documents may be forwarded immediately to USDA. USDA will resolve any complaint following established methods and regulations. USDA requires that any program receiving federal financial assistance provide training to its staff on civil rights. Specifically, USDA states that frontline staff who interact with program applicants or participants and those who supervise frontline staff are required to receive civil rights training. Training must be completed and documented on an annual basis. KSDE has resources available that may be used to train staff: annual civil rights training for child and adult care food program staff, and annual civil rights frontline training for National School Lunch Program staff.
Review compliance with the civil rights requirements as a part of the management evaluation process during administrative reviews. Training is required so that people involved in all levels of program administration understand civil rights, related laws, procedures, and directives.
Good customer service can often resolve issues that might otherwise escalate to the level of civil rights complaints. Effective communication is the key to good customer service. To effectively communicate, consider the tone, volume, and pace of your voice. Also be aware of nonverbal posture and facial expressions. Use reflective listening by listening and then restating what was heard. Focus on what the person is saying and not their emotion or appearance. If someone is extremely upset, remain calm and do not become defensive. Concerns can often be handled within the organization by using good conflict resolution practices. When listening to an individual's concerns, it is important to remain calm, do not raise your voice, and be aware of body language. Use the LOVE conflict resolution technique. Listen to the person, ask open-ended questions, validate the person's concerns, and empower, empathize, and educate regarding the situation. To summarize, the goal of civil rights is to eliminate barriers that prevent or deter people from receiving benefits of a government-sponsored or funded program, to provide equal treatment in the delivery of programs and services to all applicants, participants, and beneficiaries of a federal program, to ensure that all applicants and participants understand their rights and responsibilities, and to show respect and dignity to all. If you have additional questions about meeting civil rights requirements, please contact the Child Nutrition and Wellness team. ASDE Child Nutrition and Wellness is an equal opportunity provider.